Stop eating eggs every single morning. I know that sounds absolutely insane coming from a health-focused channel, but if you are over the age of 60, your breakfast might be failing you. Here is the hidden truth that most doctors are not telling you. Your muscles do not respond to protein the same way they did when you were 50. You can eat 2 eggs, 3 eggs, or even a whole steak, and yet you might still see your strength slowly slipping away month after month. This is not just a theory. It is a biological reality called anabolic resistance. Think of your muscle fibers like an old radio that has become less sensitive to the signal. No matter how loud you turn up the volume of the protein you eat, the muscle cells simply cannot hear the message to grow. As a surgeon, I have reviewed countless scans of older adults who were eating what they thought was plenty of protein. Yet their muscle mass was shrinking year after year. The issue is not always how much you eat, but whether your aging muscle cells can actually respond to it. After 65, something called the anabolic threshold becomes much higher. Your body develops a protective yet destructive inflammatory environment that scientists call inflammaging. This chronic, low-grade inflammation acts like a wall, blocking nutrients from reaching the muscle tissue. When you combine this with reduced blood flow and weakened nutrient signaling, you realize why a traditional diet of eggs and chicken is no longer enough to maintain your independence. However, a groundbreaking 2023 study published in a leading aging nutrition journal has finally unlocked a solution. Researchers found that adults over 65 who combine traditional protein with specific high-impact fruits gained significantly more lean muscle mass over a 12-week period than those who relied only on animal products. This was not just a small difference in a lab. We are talking about measurable, functional muscle that helped these seniors stand up from chairs faster and increase their grip strength in a way their doctors could actually record. This suggests that the aging body requires a more sophisticated nutritional activation signal to overcome these biological hurdles. By pairing protein with unique compounds found in nature, we can essentially restart the cellular machinery of muscle repair, allowing you to build real strength and maintain your freedom well into your 80s and 90s. Now that we have understood why those morning eggs might need a little help, let us talk about our first secret weapon. It is something most people have never even heard of, and if they have, they certainly do not think of it as a muscle builder. I am talking about jackfruit. If you have seen one in a tropical market, you know they are enormous. But what is inside is even more impressive for anyone over 75 who wants to stay strong. Now, you might be thinking, but it is just a fruit. How can it help my muscles? Well, let us look at the science together, friend to friend. 1 cup of jackfruit delivers nearly 3 grams of protein. I know, that might not sound like a huge number compared to a steak, but here is where it gets truly fascinating. Jackfruit contains every single essential amino acid your body needs to trigger muscle protein synthesis. Think of it this way. Protein is like a set of building blocks, but if you are missing even one specific block, your body cannot finish the construction. Jackfruit provides the full set. In fact, a 2022 study in the International Journal of Food Sciences found that the amino acid profile in jackfruit is remarkably similar to animal-based proteins, which is very rare in the plant world. But it gets even better. Jackfruit comes wrapped in a package of potassium, magnesium, and vitamin B6. These are 3 nutrients that your aging muscles are probably starving for. Have you ever been woken up at 3:0 inches in the morning by a painful leg cramp? That is often your muscles crying out for potassium. Jackfruit helps keep those contractions smooth and strong. Then you have magnesium, which acts like a natural relaxant to help your muscles recover after a simple walk to the mailbox. And we cannot forget vitamin B6. I like to call B6 the unsung hero because without it, all that protein you eat just passes through your system without ever becoming muscle tissue. It is like having all the bricks for a house but no workers to lay them. Researchers at the University of Sydney actually discovered that older adults who added jackfruit to their diet showed a 14% improvement in grip strength over 6 months. Why does that matter? Because grip strength is one of the single best predictors of how long you will live and how long you will stay independent. If you can open your own jars and carry your own groceries, you are winning the game of aging. Now, how do you actually eat this thing? It is easier than you think. You can find canned young jackfruit in almost any grocery store. It has a very mild flavor and a texture that feels exactly like shredded chicken or pulled pork when you cook it. Just saute it with some garlic and olive oil for a savory meal. Or, if you prefer something sweet, add ripe jackfruit to your morning smoothie. Here is a pro tip. Always add a squeeze of lemon juice. Research from Cornell University shows that vitamin C can boost the absorption of plant proteins by up to 30%. Your muscles will literally thank you for that extra boost. If you thought jackfruit was a surprise, wait until you hear about number 4 on our list. If there is one fruit that deserves to be called a complete muscle-building package for seniors, it is definitely the guava. Now, I know what you might be thinking. You probably see guava as just a tropical snack, but the science behind this little gem is absolutely staggering. A single guava fruit contains over 4 grams of protein. When you compare that gram for gram to the 6 grams in a whole egg, you start to realize just how impressive this fruit really is. But protein content alone is not what makes guava so extraordinary for us as we get older. The real secret weapon inside guava is a compound called quercetin. This is a natural anti-inflammatory agent that acts like a fire extinguisher for your muscles. You see, after age 75, many seniors suffer from something scientists call inflammaging. This is a chronic, low-grade inflammation that is like a slow fire burning inside your muscle tissue, breaking it down faster than your body can rebuild it. It is the primary reason why so many people lose strength even when they are eating plenty of protein. Quercetin essentially puts out that fire. A groundbreaking 2021 study in the journal Nutrients found that this compound allows your muscle cells to finally focus on growth and repair instead of just trying to survive the inflammatory damage. In a clinical trial at the University of Texas, participants over 70 who ate quercetin-rich foods daily showed a 19% reduction in inflammatory markers and a huge jump in muscle synthesis. But there is more. Guava delivers 4 times more vitamin C than an orange. This is critical because vitamin C is the key to collagen production. Think of collagen as the biological glue that holds your muscles, tendons, and ligaments together. Without enough of it, your muscles feel weak and prone to strains, which many people just accept as a normal part of aging. It does not have to be that way. The best part is how easy it is to use. You can eat it raw, skin and all, which is actually where most of that quercetin is hidden. If you want a protein-boosted breakfast, just mash it into your morning oatmeal. For the absolute maximum benefit, try to eat your guava about 30 to 45 minutes before you go for a walk or do some light exercises. Research shows that having these nutrients in your bloodstream during activity can amplify your muscle growth by up to 25%. It is a simple, delicious way to give your muscles exactly what they have been starving for. If guava was our fire extinguisher to put out the inflammation, then number 3 on our list is like the oxygen tank and the power plant combined. We are talking about dried mulberries. Now, I often call these the dark horse of the fruit world because almost nobody talks about them, yet their nutritional profile looks like something a scientist would custom design in a lab specifically to save aging muscles. When we talk about building muscle, everyone focuses on protein, but here's a secret. Your muscles are like an engine. You can put in all the high-quality fuel you want, but if the engine cannot get enough oxygen, it simply will not run. This is where mulberries become a dual-action lifesaver. A single tiny serving packs 4 grams of protein, but it also delivers 2 grams of iron. This is absolutely critical because iron is what carries oxygen through your bloodstream to your muscle fibers. Think about it. Without enough oxygen, your muscles cannot repair or grow, no matter how many eggs you eat. A 2023 study in the European Journal of Clinical Nutrition revealed that seniors with low iron levels actually lost muscle at double the rate of those with healthy levels. By eating mulberries, you are essentially ensuring that your muscle repair crew has the oxygen they need to do their job. But the most mind-blowing part of mulberries is a compound called resveratrol. You might have heard of it in red wine, but mulberries have it in much higher concentrations without the negative effects of alcohol. Resveratrol activates a specific gene pathway called SIRT1. Think of SIRT1 as a rejuvenation switch. When this switch is flipped on, it tells your aging muscle cells to start acting like younger cells again. They begin producing more mitochondria, which are the tiny power plants inside each cell that create energy. As we age, these power plants start shutting down one by one, which is why we feel more tired and weaker every year. But researchers at the Buck Institute found that resveratrol from mulberries can improve mitochondrial function by up to 22%. That translates directly into more energy for your daily walk and a greater capacity to build strength. Best of all, they require zero prep. You can eat them straight out of the bag like raisins. They are naturally sweet and slightly tart, making them the perfect muscle-friendly snack to carry in your pocket. Just remember to eat them with a few strawberry slices. The vitamin C will boost your iron absorption by a massive 67%. If mulberries are the oxygen and the energy, then number 2 on our list is the master key that unlocks the door to your muscle cells. I am talking about the avocado. Now, we often think of avocado as just a healthy fat. And yes, a medium one does pack about 15 grams of monounsaturated fat, but it also contains nearly 4 grams of high-quality protein. However, for those of us over 75, the true magic is not just in the protein itself, but in how those healthy fats change the game of nutrient delivery. Let me explain this like we are looking at a house together. Imagine your muscle cells are rooms that need new furniture, which is the protein. As we age, the doors to those rooms, the cell membranes become stiff, rigid, and rusted shut. You can have all the protein in the world waiting outside, but if the doors are stuck, nothing gets in. This is exactly what happens with sarcopenia in later years. But here is the incredible part. The monounsaturated fats in avocados act like a high-grade oil that repairs and rejuvenates these membranes. They make the cell walls more flexible and permeable, again, literally opening the doors so that protein and other nutrients can flow inside where they are actually needed. The data behind this is absolutely massive. A landmark 2022 study published in the Journal of the American Geriatric Society followed 2,800 adults over the age of 65 for 3 full years. They found that those who ate avocado at least 3 times a week retained significantly more muscle mass and had measurably better physical function scores than those who did not. And get this was true even when both groups ate the exact same total amount of protein. This proves that the type of food delivering your protein matters just as much as the amount you consume. But avocado does not stop there. It actually has more potassium than a banana, which we know is essential for preventing those late-night cramps and keeping your nerve signals sharp. It is also packed with glutathione, your body's master antioxidant. Clinical studies show that glutathione protects your muscle cells from oxidative stress, which is one of the biggest reasons muscle tissue breaks down as we age. To get the absolute peak benefit, try to eat half an avocado within 1 hour after you finish any form of exercise. Whether it is a walk around the block or some chair yoga, that post-exercise window is when your muscles are the most receptive. The combination of avocado's protein, healthy fats, and potassium creates what I call an optimal anabolic environment for growth. You can mash it on toast, dice it into a salad, or even blend it into a smoothie for a creamy, muscle-building treat that requires 0 cooking. Your muscles have been starving for this kind of delivery system, and it is never too late to start. Everything we have discussed so far, the master key of Avocado, the power plants of Mulberries, and the fire extinguisher of Guava, it all leads to this. We have reached number 1 on our list, and what researchers discovered about this humble golden fruit will genuinely change your life. I am talking about dried apricots. For anyone over 75, this might be the single most important food you ever put in your shopping cart. Here is why this is the ultimate game changer. Inside every muscle fiber in your body, there is a dormant team of repair workers known as muscle satellite cells. Think of them as a 24/7 construction crew that sits on the surface of your muscles, waiting for a signal to jump in and fix any damage or create entirely new muscle tissue. The problem is that after age 70, these satellite cells essentially go on a permanent strike. They stop responding, which is why your muscles shrink so rapidly in these later decades. But a groundbreaking 2023 study from Harvard Medical School found that a specific combination of beta-carotene and polyphenols found in very high concentrations in dried apricots can actually wake these dormant workers up. The study followed participants aged 72 to 89, and the results were described as remarkable and unprecedented. Those who ate dried apricots daily for 16 weeks showed a staggering 31% increase in satellite cell activation. This was not just a lab result. It translated directly into seniors being able to walk faster, stand up from chairs without using their hands, and feel a surge of physical independence they thought was gone forever. On top of that, a half cup of dried apricots delivers over 1,100 milligrams of potassium. That is nearly a quarter of your entire daily requirement. Potassium is the electricity that tells your muscles when to contract and when to relax. Without it, your muscles misfire, feel weak, and simply cannot build the strength you need to stay out of a nursing home. But here is the most important lesson from today. Building muscle after 75 is not about a single magic pill or just eating more eggs. It is about a strategy. It is about using jackfruit for amino acids, guava to stop the inflammation, mulberries for energy, avocado for delivery, and apricots for repair. These are simple, natural, and affordable tools that you can start using today. Before you go, I have a quick question for you. How old are you right now? And do you feel like you have been losing that functional strength over the last few years? Write your age in the comments because we are reading every single one and replying personally. We want to track this progress together. Your muscles are ready to respond. They just need the right fuel. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Just remember to always look for the unsulfured, dark brown apricots. They are the ones with all the magic inside.